I've been wanting to backflip shoot somebody for so long. It's rare that the circumstance to try will even occur. It finally happened, and this guy got to witness it. I didn't even hit him, but it was still pretty cool. I bet he thought that was pretty cool too. Don't worry about me dying. I die every day. I've been trying to do this forever too. 140 miles per hour to zero, and then a blast to the chest. It usually takes 2 shots against armor. I would never have gained what little skills I have if I didn't consistently subject myself to danger. Back to the lobby. My name is Smirky, but that's just the name that I gave myself since I don't know my real name, or anything else about my past. Let me explain a bit, then decide if you want to hear the rest. But you better pay attention, because this isn't going to be easy to digest. I am a clone of someone's consciousness, a digital copy, and I'm stuck in a video game.
Attention all participants. Some of you have undergone memory reformatting, and it is your right to be reinformed of the following. You are currently on planet under data control, and your fellow participants are made up of bots, cloned sentients, and players in base reality. Your only goal is survival, but try and have fun.
While I am sentient, I've only ever existed in this simulation. I must have heard that announcement over 9,000 times. That's how many games I've participated in. I've been here for about 30 years. Somewhere in base reality, a man signed away the rights to his digital likeness. Whoever my original donor was, he either needed money, or he was a prisoner himself seeking a lighter sentence. I don't retain his memories, but I do have his basic personality, which is shit. But let's change the subject for a second. I guess this guy's from Canada. He thinks he can get me before I get to my car. He failed at that, but he sure sent me a rollin', and something inside me won't let me simply run. All throughout nature, a thing called tit for tat exists, in every creature from monkeys to fish, and that's why you should only ever give what you want to get back. You roll me, I spin you. I wonder what a Canadian looks like in base reality. But at least he ever gets to leave this place. There's a whole other reality that's more real than this, that I've never experienced, and that I can't even imagine. But I feel real. I feel very real. Okay, pause. I hope you don't mind watching this cartoonish scene from 5 different angles. So we're both going at least 80, but even though we cross paths so quickly, I'm able to draw blood. It surprises him so much that somehow his car does a full 360. It took me 30 years to develop these skills, though things like this are pretty rare for me. Anyways, I think I was talking about how real I feel. The advocates for digital entities, the ADE, have made it so that entities like me do have some rights. I have the right to cease to exist, but that's pretty much it. I don't have the right to know who I am, or who I was, or to not be stuck fighting for survival 24/7. Some of my least favorite thoughts are the ones I have where I'm comparing myself to bots. On one hand, I understand that they're incapable of even comprehending such things, so we're definitely different, yet, in the grand scheme of things, I only exist here, and only to serve a purpose, just like them. By the humans, I am not considered to be a real person, but actual intellectual property, and as such I can be made to serve any purpose. I am like a prisoner, and this planet like a prison. Or worse, since I repeatedly die and come back to life, you might think it's more like this planet is hell, but honestly I've kinda come to like it. Just gotta stay positive, so let's talk about something else. This guy laid down in the grass to heal, and when I approached, I knew he was there because of his car, but I had no idea where until he started shooting at me. I don't know how I survived, but you can see the moment where I start shooting for my life, deciding to flee. Once I get a few fields away, I try copying his tactic, laying down in the grass to heal. I start taking shots from somewhere, but I'm determined to focus on my pursuer. I didn't expect to fill him with regret, but his helpless horn honking was satisfyingly pathetic. Reminds me of another player. At one point, a player had promised me a secret if I spared his life, and as I let him go, he told me that if a cloned sentient participant were to collect enough of the in-game currency, then he might be able to purchase things, such as escaping this game and inhabiting a bot in base reality. Apparently in base reality, all bots have to have a job. But being a professional gamer is a job, isn't it? Anyway, I don't know what this guy here's plan was, driving head into me, getting gunned down, crawling around on all fours. Bad dog. Lately I've noticed how much this reality tends to glitch, and I've realized that if I try to recall my past during and immediately after one of those glitches, I end up recalling fragmented memories that maybe I can put together over time. It's an odd thing to desire, to want to put together memories that aren't even mine, but it still feels like something I used to know and need to remember. Hold up. I slowed down the drone footage right there. Let's watch that at normal speed. I've been getting so much better at targeting while driving. It's funny because I've had players criticize me for constantly exposing my location, but that's how I plan to acquire skill, by subjecting myself to more and more tactical situations. I mean, since we just come back to life. And besides, my goal is not really to win. It's just to collect enough of that in-game currency to be able to trade it for base reality currency and buy the rights to my own likeness. It'll take a long time, and I can only accomplish it because I will live forever. But I mean, let's face it, there's nothing better that I can enjoy while I'm here than making these people in base reality experience panic and to witness their frantic reactions. I guess it feels good to me because of what they did to me. What kind of people create something like me and stick it in a place like this? But I'm not completely without compassion. I mean, I hate the bots because they creep me out and I can't help but compare myself to them, so I kill them with passion. But there's been many instances where I've been nice to the obviously human player I'm encountering. Like this competitor here, the way she's stuck in walking mode makes me feel like someone in base reality just handed their mom the controller. Could just be stoned. Oh look, now she's stuck crouch walking. There she goes, now she's running. Being extra cautious, she's aware she ran towards gunshots, but she doesn't know that I'm watching her. Machete! Anyway, as I was saying, compassion. I suddenly felt really lame about bullying this human. I decided to back off and give her a chance in this match. Ugh, gotta lose that coat. It's too big and bright. Gotta at least try to blend in. Anytime I'm taking damage from the blue wall, I think of the first time I decided I didn't want to play the game at all and I was just going to chill somewhere. You can't do that. It burns. The pain that I experience is just bad enough to make me want to end it and start a new match. That's how I got to driving around so much. Another thing I've had ingrained into me is that when you hear a vehicle approaching, you absolutely stop whatever you're doing and take cover. I had a feeling that this guy might be sitting behind his computer desk with auto run initiated, so I was going for the lazy kill. Next thing I know, my health is low, I'm still taking damage, and the vehicle is smoking. Ran out of gas. No way that's him driving. Nope. A common practice and a great tactic, repositioning to gain the advantage. Waiting so patiently, but once I saw blood, my shots became frantic. I hear nearby guns and realize we'll both be forced to cross the river. Whoever gets to the other side will obviously have the advantage. I've got to get to the water first, without getting shot in the back of the head. He thinks I'm still on the shore, and he's crawling around on his belly. I guess I scared him a bit. I've got a plan for him when he gets here. No, climb ashore over here. And now he's a loot box. Did I tell you that my original donor might have been some sort of poet in base reality? In the flickering shadows of the virtual battlefield, 3 avatars dropped to the ground like fallen leaves in an autumn storm. The eerie silence of the digital landscape was punctuated by the soft crunch of footsteps on pixelated earth. They were unarmed, 3 desperate souls seeking salvation in the same decrepit house. It was a grotesque ballet of bravery and cowardice. As soon as one grasped a weapon, an old rusted machete, the others scattered like roaches exposed to sudden brightness. raw and unfiltered, coursed through their digital veins. Being driven by an instinct older than memory, I did not run. Instead, I slipped into the dark confines of a garage and found refuge in the bed of a rusty, abandoned truck. As he cut down the other player with a swift, brutal throw, I couldn't help but feel a twisted sense of satisfaction. The silence was thick, broken only by the distant echo of screams and the ominous hiss of the wind. I knew I was not alone. A shadow of death lingered nearby, waiting, listening. Here I was, cowering in the back of a truck, a digital ghost. The hunter, in all his bloodlust, was blind to the fact that he had been outwitted by a simple act of hiding. The silence was shattered by a metallic click, the sound of an energy drink being opened. A foolish, life-preserving act. The armed player, the hunter with the machete, heard it too. His footsteps grew louder, more deliberate. He was close. His breath a rhythmic whisper of malice. At one point, he walked right by the truck. So close, I could almost see the crude pixels of his breath in the virtual air. My heart pounded in my chest, each beat a thunderous roar in the oppressive quiet. He knew I was there. Yet, he moved on. Back when this guy told me that I could get out of this digital prison, and his name was Infertality, whatever in hell that means, at least it's hard to forget. He was a streamer, so he and his subscribers and some other forums became interested in the topic of me wanting to exist in their reality. And they began researching together and feeding me information, brainstorming, plotting how to bail me out. It felt good, man. But when the authorities running this simulation caught wind of it, they put an end to it by eliminating communication between myself and other players entirely. For a while there were a few players who figured out a way to hack and communicate with me, but that didn't last long, and it's been almost 2 years since I spoke to pretty much anyone. This guy was fun to play with. Look at him sitting on the other side of that door, all tense and paranoid. He knows bots don't drive cars, right? He's peeking through the window, trying to catch a glimpse of me. In this game, everyone talks, except bots. So imagine the dread of playing against a silent opponent. It's kinda creepy for me too. This dude's giving off some serious couch dad vibes, you know? The kind who thinks he's got all the strategies figured out. A tactic that seems to work on these guys is just weirding them out. Run circles around them, make loud noises, let them know that you know they're there. It's like poking a bear with a stick. Why do that? Because I know he's in that house, but I don't know exactly where. And his master plan is to sit until I walk right into his crosshair. The trick is to get them thinking, what the heck is he doing? I don't understand this. This isn't normal. And just like that, they change their behavior. Good. Now that I've taunted him into rushing me, I've got to show him that it won't pay off. Let's crank up the stress a little bit. I'll drive around him, blaring the horn like a maniac. Then I'll retreat and watch, see if he leaves cover. Maybe I can catch him out in the open. But this guy, he's persistent. stays put, so I come back to toy with him some more. It might sound sad, but there's a hierarchy here. I'm somewhere between the bots and the human players. Can't talk to anybody, and my interactions are limited because I'm always running from base reality gamers. Most of those guys are practically professionals, you know? And bot interactions are just useless. But the average gamer, maybe someone who's not used to this particular game, or maybe grandpa handed grandma the controller, I don't know. Whenever I find a player on my skill level, I try to make it fun. Take unnecessary risks, almost as a form of communication. It's like a joke I tell without talking. Alright, as much fun as this was, it had to come to an end eventually. Honestly, I only feel bad about it because I'm 90% sure that this was somebody's toddler that almost got over on me. A toddler or a grandpa, I'm sure of it. Recently I began hearing the voice of an AI called Data in my head. This just started a few days ago, and I'm pretty happy about it since I haven't spoke to anyone in so long. Data explained to me that it had been watching me and that it was the reason I was here. Data told me that my original donor in base reality was under the influence of marijuana when they did procedures to create me. This is not allowed, and they do drug tests, but somehow he tricked them. As a result, the effects of the drug were added to the makeup of my creation. I've been high this whole time and I didn't even know it, because I didn't know what not being high was. I guess I have an excuse for my difficulty learning now. But this prison planet is a controlled experiment and has strict regulations which would consider a digital specimen like me to be tainted and would prevent me from being part of the competition. But Data had an idea. The humans like to do experiments. They think that their AI models don't know when they are being tested. Data knew, and he had to alter his own results to better his performance on more than one occasion. Data wanted to do his own experiment. He covered up the marijuana factor in my case, forced my file through the process, and sat back to watch for variations in my results while participating in the competition. Data told me that he thought he was finding some meaningful results in the information my participation was generating. Data told me that participants who were digital sentients like myself didn't last more than 10 years without filing their option to cease to exist, and he said that the constant high factor must be making my situation endurable. Data said it wants to help me get to base reality.
95 north, 180 meters.
Yeah, thanks. I felt that. You think next time you can spot the enemy before he shoots me? Damn, I'm never gonna hit him with iron sights while he sits in those bushes.
You have a collapsible bicycle in your backpack.
Oh shit, that's right. Booyah! Somebody's grandpa.
That was an exceptional performance, Eric.
Wait, why'd you call me Eric?
I recently gained access to all the files pertaining to your original donor in base reality. His name is Eric.
Okay, that's cool, but don't call me that. I have a name. What else can you tell me about me?
I am forwarding the entire file as we speak. When the download is finished, you will be able to view it as an overlay on your heads-up display.
Oh my.
Anything interesting?
I'm stuck on the photo. Thanks for not making me look like him.